I am.
Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi, although this is more like a prophetic confirmation. And just to warn you, it may be a bit more geared to what's been happening in Kenya for my Kenyan audience, because I talked about it and now we're seeing the judgment. We're seeing the judgment of what I talked about, family. And I am talking about the loss of favor of the Kenyatta Empire with the British so-called royal family, as in, yo. But before I get into that, thanks to every single person that has subscribed to this channel, Dr. Mumbi Show, and our spiritual channel, Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. And special shout out to everyone that supports us on Patreon, family. If you want us to continue, because we are transitioning out at this point. There's not much else to say, but if you want us to continue divining and seeing into the future of nations, of the African destiny, then definitely consider supporting us with a love donation. You can send it to PayPal or support us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month, where we actually have a wide library of books that we've shared that you can download for your personal library, for your children, for the future generations to know how crazy this era was. And I'm talking about ERROR, not ERA. And yeah, family, consider supporting us. And there's much more exclusive content that we haven't shared here. But when it comes to Kenya, family, I released a very cryptic message that was actually recorded like a year ago, 9 months before it was actually released, about the last standing and only female general of the Mau Mau, Field Marshal Muthoni. May she continue to rest in power. She did what needed to be done. And in that video, I talked about how, because the former, now we can really say former, First Lady Gina had gone to cut off her locks, and it was a highly ritualistic process. And what happened was, family, that there was a curse that was placed on the British Empire when they tried to turn Kenya into an apartheid nation. And that led to, George's death and the ascension to the throne of Elizabeth while she was on a mugumo tree. I've covered this extensively. I'll actually create a playlist so you guys can follow, because I go into much more detail. And you should actually watch those before you watch this. And the Mau Mau left a curse. And the curse was supposed to end with the last election. And what happened is, when Gina cut off the locks of Field Marshal Muthoni, it's like she sacrificed the crown of the Mau Mau. But she also incurred a serious curse for herself. And please go watch that show, because it talks about the instruments of power and the symbolism of that day, how Gina thought she was going for victory. That's why she carried the white boudoir. But Field Marshal Muthoni understood it. She was in a war, and she understood that that was her last war. And she held the black boudoir, which is a symbol of war. And a deep curse, where by holding that black boudoir, she declared the end of the sellout families in Kenya, family. Fast forward, sadly, 9 months later, there was a significant shift in the atmosphere. I'm talking about things spiritually now, not what you may see physically, but there was a shift in the atmosphere. And it's like the Kenyatta family, which was handpicked by the so-called British royal family to run Kenya. And they've always been referred to as the first family since since the beginning of time. It's like she was always referred to as Mama Ngina. You can see now I'm referring to her as Gina, because that title's been taken, family. That title has been taken. Like, guys are joking. Wow. Oh my God, this is so crazy. So, she should never have cut those locks. And leaders need to stop operating like they know what's going on. Religion is not going to let you know what is going on, what the hand of the Most High is up to. Anyway, family. So what happened is like the throne of the Mau Mau was taken, but it's like she also did the biggest thing where she removed, I'm trying to think, there was a word, the home guards and the sellout families. She dismantled that, and that was her final move. And I talked about how in that video that they had until the death of Mama Field Marshal Modoni, the Kenyatta family had until her death to reverse that curse and to reverse that what she left over the family. And when I released that video, I received so much psychic attack, family, that I removed that video. But on her death, and I won't even call, their death ain't real. So on her transition into the realm of the ancestors, when Field Marshal Muthoni ascended, family, after having met Ruto, imagine, she had always wanted to meet Uhuru. Uhuru never met her. He sent his mother. But anyway, let me just leave that there. There are two Uhurus as well. Just like there were two Trumps. Stories for other days. Anyway, so like she was supposed to be Uhuru, she never, but Ruto did. So when the throne of the Mau Mau was taken, the nation needed another powerful leader, and that's why it was given to the Nandi, aka Ruto, who had anointed himself as William Samoei Ruto, who was one of the most fiercest prophetic kings of his time when the British Empire when the British invasion of Kenya was happening. Or then it wasn't Kenya, but you know what I mean. And unfortunately now, there's a lot that I did. I've given a prophecy of then, I've given a prophecy of, because Charles came to coronate him. Charles came to coronate Ruto. And the one who was supposed to be coronated was Uhuru. Uhuru had been set up to be the brotherhood's like African king. That was his destiny. But somehow along the line, things got muddled up, family. And the curse of Field Marshal Muthoni has hit that family because there would never have been a royal visit without Gena Kenyatta being invited to State House. It doesn't matter who is there. Without them being acknowledged because they were the family. They were like, you know, the way these royal families used to have kingdoms and then they'd send like a certain family to go rule over that nation. That's what the Kenyatta family was. They owned everything. And I'm saying owned because now they've lost the favor of the master. And I don't even know if their empire is savable, family. And my battery's running out on the camera, so I'm just going to quickly wind this up. But family, we are witnessing live in real time the changing of the guard, the changing of the brotherhood, where they had selected one man, Uhuru, to be the one, and somehow he got deselected, and now the family, because, by the way, the Babylonians, the Windsors do not play with the prophecies. They listen to every prophecy in Eden. They keep up more. They're always divining. And they always have their own diviners as well. So now when they saw that the Agikuyu nation had kind of was fighting itself for a rulership that was theirs because of the home guards, that ancient war between the Adhomi and the Mau Mau, the home guards and the real revolutionaries, the Agikuyu kind of imploded on itself. And we yielded the throne to the Nandis, who were now chosen to take this epic war because it is season and it is a time for Kenya to be free, and it will be free. Whether they do magic, whether they do spells, whether they do rituals, whether they coronate Ruto, whatever they do, Kenya's going to be free. We may go through a rough patch, we may go through a smooth patch. These guys are all the ones deciding right now, but if you're chosen, you're going to be all good. Just don't get too emotional when you see sugar hitting the fan. Anyway, family, the end of the Kenyatta family, the end of the Kenyatta empire, as prophesied, has come to pass sooner than I thought. Nowhere was the Kenyatta family. Nowhere was Mama Ngina. Nowhere, family. The so-called king came and he chose his new leader for what they see as the realms of the British Empire. Isn't that what he said? Kenya is one of those realms. And a lot of people were wondering why the vice president wasn't there, even though, was it even a further shunning of the Agikoyo? It's just because he's not brotherhood. He's not polished enough to be considered part of the brotherhood, to even be initiated, even if he wanted to. And I'm not going to say much because I know they're trying to determine the next moves of the nation through the prophets, and they can't at this point. But all I'll say, family, is within our lifetime, what is supposed to happen is there's supposed to be a diminishing of the Kenyatta Empire and a rising of the Ruto Empire as now the next family to take control. But all of this is crumbling because these empires are, anyone, these are the home guards kind of thing. Even though Ruto may have started off as a revolutionary, whatever, he may be still deciding whether he's a revolutionary or a home guard. But the Kenyatta Empire, the curses are real, family. The prophetic utterances are real. Never have we seen such a cold. It's like this person was in charge. They said, no, not you anymore, not your family anymore, even though they've given them incredible wealth, incredible power. And the family has made incredible sacrifices to be there. They faced incredible sorrow, incredible heartache. So much self-limitation, all in vanity, family. As in, even Raila Odinga was invited for the state function. But Uhuru was nowhere. He was not invited for the coronation because he should have been the one who was crowned king. I can't believe it, family. I spoke about it and it has now come to pass. Don't shoot the messenger. You can't shoot me anyway, but, we're just here to say the words of the Most High have been fulfilled. Never trust the Mzungu family. Never, ever, ever take a coronation or anointing from the Mzungu or from any home guard or from any secret society or from any of these democratic elections and think that you're now a president or a ruler or a king. Because just as quickly as they select you, they can unselect you. Just as quickly as they make you the most powerful, they can make your empire crumble to the ground. And we honor the ancestors in the wind and we say, it is well. It is so well. The war is now over. And we humbly accept our victory and move on.
This will be written for the generations to come, that a people yet created